We've got a massive night of sports ahead of us. We're talking MLB World Series Game 3, a stacked NBA slate, and some Monday Night Football action. It's Monday. Let's lock in for a new week. This is the Game Day Grind. What's up, sports fans? My name is Chris. Welcome back to Game Day Wagers, and thank you for watching today's edition of the Game Day Grind. Today is Monday, October 27th, and in today's video, we have a stacked show to get to. We're talking MLB World Series Game 3, a pivotal game between the Toronto Blue Jays and Los Angeles Dodgers. We've got a side selection and a prop selection coming your way. We've got an NBA card that is stacked. We've got 2 player props on deck, as well as one side. And how can we forget Monday Night Football, where the Commanders are going into Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are currently laying minus 10.5 points. To quickly recap last week's plays, we gave out 31 free picks from Tuesday to Friday. We did go plus 3.66 units, which is solid. We continue to deliver on our promise to turn a profit week over week. And that was capped by a Friday show, which went 8-2 for plus 5.85 units. That's the past. It's a new week. It's imperative to start strong, and I'm in love with tonight's card. If you guys are enjoying the content and cashing along with me, please drop a like on the video. It goes a long way in supporting the channel, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are new around here at Game Day Wagers. We are pumping out some great content on a daily basis. Now, we've got a stacked slate, so let's get into Monday's free picks, starting with Game 3 of the World Series between the Dodgers and Blue Jays. To kick things off, we are talking Game 3 of the World Series between the Dodgers and Blue Jays. With the scene shifting to Los Angeles for this pivotal Game 3, the series is tied 1-1. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Blue Jays plus 1.5, minus 130 on the run line for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, we saw this Toronto team come to life in Game 1 with 11 runs, including that Addison Barger grand slam, which essentially blew the floodgates open. Unfortunately, they couldn't keep that momentum going thanks to a Yoshinobu Yamamoto masterclass in Game 2, where he gave up just 1 run on 4 hits. Now, we need to see how they can respond, and to be honest, I think they'll be just fine. They get to go up against Tyler Glasnow here, and with all due respect to him, he's probably the weakest link of the Dodgers rotation. I know he's only given up 1 run across his last 2 playoff starts, but he's got major command issues, and that could very well come back to bite him in the ass. In Game 2, Yamamoto was on point. He got plenty of swings and misses from the Blue Jays batters. The Jays are still a patient team, and I expect a disciplined approach at the plate, something they've shown throughout the playoffs, and they're going to force Glasnow to be in the zone. With Mad Max getting the call for the Jays on the bump today, I said before his Seattle start that there's no better competitor that you'd want on the bump in a bounce back spot than the crafty veteran. Obviously, this Dodgers lineup is a bit tougher than what the Mariners can trot out, but he's got experience and he knows what it takes to win big playoff ball games. The Dodgers bullpen, they're simply untrustworthy, so a blown save is always in play, which is why we are going back to the well here. We cashed with this bet in Game 1. We're going to take the Toronto Blue Jays on the run line, plus 1.5, minus 120. And to put a bow on this Game 3 of the World Series, I really like a correlated player prop. We're taking Tyler Glasnow over 1.5 walks. The odds are minus 115. As I mentioned, Glasnow has command issues, and here are his last 13 appearances in terms of his walk totals. 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 2, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, 5. That's a lot of walks over his last 13 appearances. The Jays are tough to strike out. They're patient at the plate. And with a bad bullpen behind him, he should have a longer leash, which comes with more opportunity to walk some guys. Take Tyler Glasnow to go over 1.5 walks, minus 115. From the diamond, we're going to the gridiron, where we're talking Monday Night Football. Last game of Week 8, Commanders taking on Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. Look, the last time we saw the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football, they dropped a very winnable game to the Jacksonville Jaguars, so you can be certain they'll be ready for this primetime encounter. The Chiefs are dialed in right now. They've won 2 straight, including that demolition last week, 31-0 against the Las Vegas Raiders. They've hit at least 28 points in each of their last 4 games, and I don't believe a Commanders defense, which gave up 44 to the Dallas Cowboys, is built to stop this wagon right now. If we throw in the fact that the Commanders are going to be without Jaden Daniels in this one, I just don't see a world where Marcus Mariota keeps this game close. Steve Spagnuolo is going to have a game plan that's going to keep the Commanders off balance and probably force a pair of turnovers. that's where Patrick Mahomes and co come into play. Mahomes got Rashee Rice back into the mix last week, catching 7 balls for a pair of touchdowns. He's paying immediate dividends. I'm not going to overthink this one. I'm going to take the better team here all around. At home, laying the minus 10.5 points at minus 115. And if you guys are so inclined, you can sprinkle in a Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown, plus 300. That's another play I really like in this contest. From the gridiron, we're going to the court. It's time for hardwood handles. To kick off Monday's edition of Hardwood Handles, we are taking the San Antonio Spurs minus 4.5 points over the Toronto Raptors. The odds are minus 105. Look, the Spurs take on the Raptors on Monday night, which means it's another opportunity to watch Victor Wembanyama play basketball, and that's an opportunity I'm not going to turn down. Victor Wembanyama has been the best thing going through the first week or so of the NBA season. He's coming off a 31-point, 14-rebound, 6-block performance yesterday in a win over the Brooklyn Nets. This Spurs team is 3-0 to kick off things, and they could be a real problem in the Western Conference if they stay healthy, and I see them having no issues running away with this win here against the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors just gave up 139 points last night against a Dallas Mavericks side that is not simply as good as the San Antonio Spurs are. They were dominated in the paint by Anthony Davis and co, and I expect a similar result from Victor Wembanyama. I'll lay the points here with the Spurs at a cheap price, minus 4.5 points, minus 105. From San Antonio, we're going to the Motor City where Detroit is hosting Cleveland. Look, the Pistons are hosting the Cavaliers on Monday night after notching 2 impressive wins over the weekend. They beat the Houston Rockets and Boston Celtics, scoring at least 115 points in each of those games, and they'll need to keep up the same level of play against another good side in Cleveland. While the spread may be low, indicating a relatively close game, I got my eye on a player prop for this contest. Duncan Robinson needs to be a big part of this team in terms of secondary scoring, and through 3 games, we've seen some good and we've seen some bad. He's a volume shooter from beyond the arc and is 6 for 15 over his last 2 games from 3-point land. The Cavaliers are allowing teams to connect at a 40% clip through 3 games, particularly due to how they defend. They got 2 towers in the interior in Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley protecting the paint, so they're going to live with the outside shooting. The Pistons need to get hot from downtown if they want to keep this game close and win this game outright as the small underdog. So we're going to go Duncan Robinson to get the job done. Over 2.5 threes made, minus 115. And finally, we're talking Utah hosting Phoenix. We've got another player prop in this contest. We're taking Dillon Brooks under 18.5 points at minus 130. Look, Brooks is a game time decision, so he may or may not play in this one. Either way, I think this point total is a little bit too high. He's not the primary scorer on this Suns team, and while he's taken 35 shots over the last 2 games, he's only made 13 of them with only 2 trips to the free throw line. He's not got a good matchup against a Jazz team that's been stingy on defense over the first 2 games, against teams with plenty more scoring options than the Suns have to offer. I see the Jazz winning this game, and Brooks being kept under wraps. Take him to go under 18.5 points at minus 130. That wraps up today's episode of the Game Day Grind. Thank you guys so much for watching. To quickly recap our best bets for today's action, we're taking the Blue Jays plus 1.5. We're taking Tyler Glasnow over 1.5 walks. We're taking the Chiefs minus 10.5 and a Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown. We're taking the Spurs minus 4.5 points. Duncan Robinson over 2.5 threes and Dillon Brooks under 18.5 points. If you guys are enjoying the content, please drop a like on the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Game Day Wagers, and most importantly, leave a comment. I want to hear from you guys if you guys are tailing, fading, or have any particular bets you're making for Monday's slate. We'll catch you all next time, same place, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Game Day Wagers YouTube channel. As always, keep grinding and good luck.